My hand was in Shuichi's as we walked to the dining hall. I had a big smile plastered on my face. I couldn't even suppress the overwhelming feeling of happiness Shuichi brings to me. I rocked our arms back and forth, looking down at his beautiful hand adoringly. Kokichi, are you ready to do this? He asked, making me frown. I almost forgot that Kaito just made everyone know what was wrong with me. One of the things that is wrong with me anyway. I don't want them to look at Shuichi differently because of my mistake. Because I am a mistake. Not really, I said, stopping in my tracks, trying to suppress the tears and the anxiety building up. I removed my hand from him to move it to my eyes. I pushed them against my eyes, trying to stop everything from happening, only to find it made me more depressed. Hey, it's okay. It's going to be okay. If you don't want to do this, I can go grab us some food and bring it back to my room, or we could ask Kurumi, he said, taking my face in his hands, kissing my cheeks to calm me down. Yeah, I don't want it to affect you. And I'm not sure I'm ready for them to all be staring at me like that, I said under my breath, afraid of how he would react if he heard. He only pulled me into his chest and rubbed my shoulders with one hand, while his other moved to pat my hair. It's okay if that's what you need right now, Kokichi. If anything, I'm not sure I want to confront them all either. I think you were so strong to be able to tell me this, Kokichi, he said, putting his face on my shoulder. I'm so proud of you, Kokichi, he whispered into my ear, making me blush. Well, I'm going to go to the room, I said, abruptly leaving his arms and walking over to my room, only to be stopped by Shuichi pulling me back into a hug from behind. I'm going to come with you. I'll call Kurumi to bring us some dinner, okay? He said while his grip loosened on my chest. Oh, okay. Thank you, Shuichi, I said, feeling guilty again for being a burden on Shuichi. Of course, anything for the person I love, he said in my ear, making me blush before grabbing his hand while I was still semi-flustered, and pulled him into my room. He didn't say anything when we came into the room. He just walked over to the phone and called Kurumi. Hey, Kurumi, I was wondering if you could bring 2 meals to Kokichi's dorm room, he asked before there was, and of course on the other side of the line, before he thanked her and hung up. He walked over to where I was laying down on my bed, tears coming to my eyes again. Why can't I just be brave enough to go to the dining hall? Why can't the ultimate supreme leader confront his classmates? Why can't I just... It's okay, Shuichi said, laying down in front of me and pulling me closer to him. Whatever you're telling yourself right now, know that I don't think that is weak of you. You are so strong for making it this far and being able to be honest with me and to tell me what you need. I think you have made so much progress. I love you so much, and I'm so glad I get to be with you, Kokichi, he said into my ear while his hands were playing with my hair and slowly moving to caress my cheeks. I shivered at the contact and smiled with a content sigh before I leaned into him more. I didn't say anything, and he seemed to be content with my silence, and he gave me a smile before planting a soft kiss on my forehead. I smiled to myself and nuzzled my face into the crook of his neck, quickly mumbling an I love you into his neck. Knock, knock. That must be Kurumi, Shuichi said before he slowly got up. This made me groan from the loss of contact. He looked back at me and gave me a small smile before he answered the door. Shuichi, here are the meals you requested, she said, walking into the room, making me nervously bury my head into the blankets on my bed, making Shuichi laugh a little bit. Is Kokichi sick? If so, I can... She started before Shuichi cut her off. No, we just wanted to eat alone today. Thank you, Kurumi, he said before she placed the meals on his desk. Before giving me a confused glance before silently leaving the room. Kokichi, are you okay? He asked, walking over to me, rubbing my shoulder before I slowly sat up to look at him. Yeah, I'm fine, I said quietly, making him look at me concerned, before he grabbed my hand and moved me over to the desk. Just eat as much as you can, okay? He said, placing the food in front of me. I felt nervous looking down at the food, almost afraid of knowing that I have to eat it. I held my hands together to keep them from shaking and took a deep breath. Okay, I said before I slowly began to eat some of the meat and vegetables on the plate in front of me. Shuichi didn't look at me while I was eating, which made me grateful because it makes me feel even more repulsive when people look at me when I eat. He finished and started cleaning up his spot while I stared down at the food on my plate. It was almost taunting me. I shivered and held myself, trying to get rid of the feeling over my shoulders. "Hey, Kokichi," Shuichi said, making me bring my eyes up to his. It's okay if you aren't, it's okay that if that's all you're comfortable eating. Don't try to make yourself eat too much. I don't want you to feel bad, okay? He said, putting his hands on top of mine, making the shaking lessen. "Oh, thank you, Shuichi," I said quietly, putting my head down while he cleaned up my spot. "Why can't this be easier?